My friends, we are back today to talk about intensity. What is intensity? We're not actually going to talk about it from a sports science perspective today. We're going to talk about it from a training perspective, meaning I'm not going to talk to you about it as the strength coach or the sports scientist who sits back behind the desk and programs the freaking Excel sheet. No, I want to talk to you about how you can use intensity to get better and to get more out of your training. All right, I'm going to give you an example. Chances are you've probably been a kid once.
Duh.
And you probably tried to get away with some shit.
Also duh.
Probably outside at one time. You came in the house and you were filthy and you were stank. And your mom looked at you and said, "You're filthy and stank. Get upstairs and take a shower or a bath." Said, mm-hmm. And you tried to get away with rinsing off. You didn't use any soap. You didn't use any shampoo. You just checked the box and said, "I showered." Chances are your mama didn't think you checked the box when you went back downstairs and said,
"You still filthy and you still stank.
Get back up there and take another shower." What does using soap on your body during a shower have to do with training? We don't train just to check the box. If you train just to check the box, you're just going to get check the box results. If you actually go into training and say, "I'm going to use my shampoo, I'm going to use my soap, I'm going to use all of my products, I'm going to use everything that I have at my disposal to train appropriately, I'm going to follow the program, I'm going to set my intentions, have goals, work hard this whole training session," then I'm going to get more results than somebody who just went into training to check the box. So what do we lose by checking the box, actually? How do you play? Do you expect yourself to perform at 80% capacity? What about 60% capacity? Does that sound good? Like, which coach actually looks at the bench and says, you always train at 60% capacity and you play at 60% capacity?
I'm definitely picking you over the person who trains and plays at 100% capacity.
I don't think so. No, you go out there and you give it your best. You always give your best, or you should be giving your best in performance scenarios. 100% effort. How can you raise that 100% effort, that 100% performance, if you're training at 60 and 80% in the gym and on the pitch? You needed to wash your whole body when you were a kid because you were being nasty, out, sweaty, and had sand between your eyeballs or like whatever you were into. You can't just rinse off and expect the water to get rid of all the dirt. You can't just lift one weight and expect that to do. You can't just do 80% of the training session, 80% effort, 8 of the 12 repetitions, or 80% of the 90% weights and expect to get the progress, expect to get the results. It doesn't work that way. So how can you bring intensity to every single training session, even if you're not in the mood? Now, if you followed my stuff for very long, you know I don't really believe in motivation, because motivation goes like this, and that's entirely normal. People hype up motivation and mental toughness because they're buzzwords right now in society, and that's okay, but we're not going to use those words. We want to use, how can we get more intensity? We as the strength coaches, sports scientists, we program that intensity into the workout for you. So first of all you got to do is follow the damn plan. Do all of the sets, do all of the reps, the load you're supposed to use, put on the weight on the bar that you're supposed to be using. Not if it says 95%, don't put 60%. But again, if it says 60%, don't put 95%. Bring intensity to do exactly what's prescribed in the workout and then get out. Secondly, before you even start a session, sit down and think what your intentions are for that session. Like, set a goal. What are you trying to get out of this? What steps are you going to take in the next hour or 2 hours or however long in order to get to that goal? How does this progress you along? And actually pay attention to that. Actually self-feedback after the session. Did I succeed in achieving my goal for the session? That self-awareness, that goal setting, and then that self-feedbacking actually really helps. Thirdly, rest times. Resting is when we get better. Resting ensures that we can actually bring intensity to the next rep, the next set, the next match, the next whatever. So your rest times are actually really important. If your coach says 2 minutes off, actually let it be 2 minutes off. Don't let it be 90 seconds. They said 2 minutes. It needs to be 2 minutes or you're cheating. And again, we want to make sure that we can bring as much intensity as possible into every rep as possible, so we're slowly pushing that threshold of performance even higher every time, instead of just trying to blow over it, hurt ourselves potentially, or just not be ready, prepared to train the next day. But we also don't want to be back here, right? We want to be right up against that threshold. That's our job to program. It's your job to execute. Fourth, if you really have trouble with bringing intensity through those other 3 tips, then get a workout partner. Have accountability in some kind. Tell other people your goals. Tell other people your training plan. If you can't have a workout partner, of course, it's optimal to work out at the same time as somebody to have that competition. We're athletes, we love competition. Then try and do it virtually. Somebody else who you know is working out, or a teammate who you know is going to do the same workout later or a similar workout, and try and work in some sort of accountability and competition into your training. It takes a lot to actually move yourself forward to progress. You actually have to work for progress. It doesn't just come naturally. It just doesn't come because you rinsed off. You have to use that soap. You have to use all of the products available to you in order to make yourself better. So please bring intensity to your session. Earn that extra percent every single time, every single day. Stick to your program. Tell other people your goals, do your rest times, set your intentions before every session, and bring intensity to every single repetition. Don't just check the box. That shit is stank. I hope that was helpful as a mental trick maybe, but also as a physical training tool. Very important to build the skill set of bringing intensity because, again, you play with intensity. You play at 100%. You need to be training that way if you want to be prepared for playing.